A big announcement today from local Congressman Vern Buchanan. Will tell you what he is going to be doing this morning in Bradenton. Plus, Marla?
And protests here at Braden River High School is calling for girl students to leave their bras at home and boys to put on Band-Aids. Why the protest is straight ahead.
And former First Lady Barbara Bush. She is home this morning after her family is reporting that she is in failing health. We have those stories plus your first alert weather and traffic. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Good morning to you, and thanks for waking up on this Monday morning. It is April the 16th, and I am Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins is off this week. We think he's going to be watching a lot of tennis as the Sarasota Open is in town. One guy that's also going to be watching something else, namely the weather, John Scalzi. Yesterday was so crazy out there with all the weather things going on. A little calmer today, hopefully.
Yeah, a lot calmer today. There's the last remaining little bit of the rain showers that we had yesterday. Now moving out into the Atlantic, where it'll eventually just wash away. High pressure builds in back behind it. Fair weather, fine sunshine, low humidity, pleasant conditions. The only downside is we got a little bit of wind out there, and in fact it's very breezy. Small craft advisories, wake wind, high surf advisory, rip current advisories, all up. Anything related with wind-water interaction today is not going to be all that pleasant. It's not going to be a good boating day by any stretch of the imagination. Not much in the way of any kind of cloud cover either, except for some residual lower-level clouds in the process of mixing away. That will eventually bring us sunny skies as high builds in. 65 Sarasota, 64 Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton 63, Venice coming in at 67. And really, that's about as warm as it gets. It's much cooler than it was 24 hours ago, coming in anywhere almost basically 10 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago at this time. And in fact, tomorrow morning will be cooler again by about 10 degrees. So big changes in the next 24 hours. We only get up to about 68 for a high today. Plenty of sunshine around. We'll talk about the forecast. Next chance of rain as well coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there this morning. In Manatee County, we're starting to see some big slowdowns. 75 as you come off on State Road 70, starting to see a lot of congestion in that area, as well as north and southbound 301 right around the State Road 70 interchange. In Sarasota County, those roads are starting to get a little bit busier. University Parkway is starting to pick up, as is Bee Ridge Road if you're heading through 75. A little bit farther south in the area, those roads are still running pretty good. No real hiccups in that area. As you're heading a little bit farther south, maybe into Port Charlotte, those roads are still looking good. At 6:02, that is your first alert traffic. Right now, here's a live look at US 41 and Bee Ridge Road on this Monday morning. Seems a little calm right now, but as the morning picks up, you know this is going to be one of our busy traffic spots, especially over that morning commute. Well, protests are expected this morning at Braden River High School. It all has to do with a story about a student who didn't wear a bra to school and was forced to fix that situation with Band-Aids. ABC 7's Marla Spence is live this morning from the school, and she is going to explain what a bra cot is. Right, Marla?
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. Today, students will be bra-cotting here at Braden River High School. They'll be protesting against the school's dress code policy. 17-year-old Lizzie Martinez, who is a student here at Braden River High School, she is calling for the girl students to leave their bras at home and boys to place bandages over their shirts. Today's bra-cot all started when Martinez was told she was being a distraction for not wearing a bra on April 2nd. She was sent to the office and then told to shake her body to prove that she wasn't wearing a bra. Following that, she was forced to put on 2 Band-Aids. The Manatee County School District released a statement saying the incident could have been handled differently. They also added that Martinez did violate the school dress code policy, but Martinez disagrees.
You can say anything's distracting because it's just like a very broad term. So I think that that's why they put it back on dress code, because they realized that what they did with me moving around and putting Band-Aids over my nipples was completely inappropriate.
And in addition to students not wearing bras and putting on Band-Aids over their shirts, they'll also be wearing t-shirts with messages on them to support today's bra-cot, as well as to speak up against what they say is body shaming. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Manatee County for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. Former First Lady Barbara Bush is now home and resting after reports that her health is failing. Her family revealed the 92-year-old matriarch will no longer seek medical treatment. She's been dealing with both pulmonary disease and congestive heart failure. Now, this morning, she is at home surrounded by a family who says that she continues to be the rock of that family, worrying not about herself, but for all of them. Well, you probably saw it right here on ABC last night. James Comey broke his silence in his first one-on-one interview since he was fired by President Trump, who he called morally unfit in the interview. ABC's Arlette Saenz has your recap from Washington.
It's an intensifying showdown between President Trump and the man he fired, former FBI Director James Comey.
I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
In an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, Comey broke his silence.
Do you think the Russians have something on Donald Trump?
I think it's possible. I don't know. These are more words I never thought I'd utter about a president of the United States, but it's possible.
Comey detailed some of the most controversial moments of his career, including an alleged conversation with the president about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
And that's when he asked me, said he hopes I can let it go.
And when he said that, you thought?
He's asking me to drop a criminal investigation of his now former National Security Advisor.
Was President Trump obstructing justice?
Possibly. I mean, it's certainly some evidence of obstruction of justice.
Hours before the interview, the president lashed out over Twitter. Slippery James Comey, a man who always ends up badly and out of whack, will go down as the worst FBI director in history by far. Comey also shared how torn he was about informing Congress he reopened the Hillary Clinton email investigation just 11 days before the 2016 election. Clinton argues that move cost her the White House, but Comey says he had no choice.
If you knew that letter would elect Donald Trump, you'd still send it?
I would. If I ever start considering whose political fortunes will be affected by a decision, we're done. We're just another player in the tribal battle.
And the reaction is already pouring in. The chairwoman of the Republican National Committee says Comey has, quote, no credibility, and says he would, quote, say anything to sell books. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Well, it's going to be a big day for Congressman Vern Buchanan. He's expected to unveil his new anti-drug plan this morning. He's going to be in Bradenton for the announcement. ABC 7, of course, will be following that story. We're going to be live right there. We'll bring it to you as it is released. Stay tuned to our social media pages. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram. Just search under ABC 7 or WWSB.
This house, built in 1920, has always been at the center of this community.
And thanks to the help of students and volunteers, a historical home in Newtown is getting a fresh cone of paint and a little TLC. Uzi Barham, a professor of archaeology at New College of Florida, says the students helping out were first introduced to the Wright Bush House during a course on discovering Sarasota. Now, in the class, not only did they learn more about the home's unique history as the first in the area to get electricity, but also that the home needed some TLC.
We wrote a grant application to the Community Foundation of Sarasota, which has funded the paint for this, contacted a contractor who has been helping us supervising what we're doing so we do it right. We've had people from Newtown Nation and Newtown Live bring us food, so we have snacks and water, and we've been painting.
Students say their goal was to revitalize the landmark that became a central part of the Newtown community. Still ahead, the latest in your first alert weather and traffic, and many parts of the country are still waiting for some spring. There's ice storms and blizzards and tornadoes. We are going to have a look at all the wild weather that took place all over the weekend, and it just doesn't seem to want to go away when we come back. Here's a live look outside this morning where it is not wild outside. It is calm, but a little cooler. Right, John Scalzi?
Can you believe all that snow in that video?
Ooh, ice storms.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Don't need that. We have beautiful weather today. If you're heading to the beach, though, the winds will be elevated. So that's the only thing. Just watch as you head out for your morning or evening walk for a little bit of problems with our waters this morning. We have a high surf advisory, rip current advisory, small craft advisory, all related to that breezy wind coming in at about 20 right now. 68 will be our daytime high at the beach, and all area stations, according to Moat Marine, are reporting A-OK in terms of any kind of red tide in the water. So good news there. Complete forecast coming up for you in just a sec.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
One man's trash is everyone's art. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll learn about an important Manatee County program that recycles Suncoast trash into surprising fashions. Online bullying is on many parents' minds. A new app could help. We will talk to its creators. Plus, the Suncoast Photography Studio's pet photos go viral, and Zoe's Kitchen joins us in our kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 65-degree air temperature, lots of cloud cover, but also some breaks in those clouds, an indication of the improving sky conditions that we'll have over the course of the day. 52 our dew point, down another 4 degrees. We'll see that dew point fall into the 40s today, and it'll feel just so refreshing and cool and crisp. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Tomorrow, I think, even better. Northwest wind still breezy at about 15. We have lots of issues with our winds today in terms of water sport. If you are thinking about boating, not going to be a great day. Small craft advisories are up. High surf advisories if you plan on being in the shore waters. Also watch for rip currents. There's a rip current advisory as well. So 63 degrees Mayaca City, Northport coming in at 65, 67 in Venice, 68 in Inglewood, 67 Longboat Key, 63 in Bradenton. And the good news is we'll have lots of sunshine all week long. And the reason is the frontal boundary has sunk south and continues to drift toward the east. High pressure is now being allowed to build in, and this is a real kind of dry, cold dome high that's building in. Going to bring us rain-free conditions all week long. Will be a little bit windy today. We'll watch for that, but those winds should start to subside as we head into the overnight. It's going to be cool tonight, coming in around 57 degrees, about 10 degrees cooler than we are right now. So, bundle up for advance warning. You'll probably need a light sweater, for some of you anyway, as you head out the door tomorrow morning. 68's about as warm as we get today. And we'll watch this line of showers, which will have some cold air wrapping around the backside of it, producing snow showers in Chicago, even as far as south as Kentucky and Tennessee, seeing some snow showers in the mountains. Freezing rain up toward down east Maine, and all of that gradually drifting offshore as that low continues to move away. As it moves away, our high pressure ridge begins to build in. And as it builds in, we'll start to eventually watch our winds kind of move a little bit more to the northeast and eventually east and lighten up significantly so that we will see a warming trend begin midweek. But until then, even though we become sunny, it's still going to be kind of cool for the next several nights. But no rain all work week long, and then low relative humidity. And I say all work long, even though we do have a little bit of a front moving through midweek, but you'll hardly notice it. Winds breezy today and gusty as well. Not a great day, all onshore winds. Then tomorrow we start to see those winds turn and the winds lighten up just a little bit. So tomorrow I think will be a better day for boating, though it still will take a little while for that chop to kind of settle down just a little bit. So the forecast for us kind of looks like this for boating today. Again, small craft advisories. We have the rip current advisories, the high surf advisories. It's just not going to be a great day for boating. Northwest wind at about 20, and that'll take us to choppy conditions and 5 to 7 foot seas. So give it a day or two and things will improve markedly, I think. 103 high tide, low tide at 8:40. Here's your forecast. Today we top it out at about 68 degrees. Plenty of sunshine in the second half of the day. Then as we head into the next several days, we start a warming trend that carries us into the 80s. So it'll be a nice couple of days. Low relative humidity, nothing in the way of any kind of rainfall, despite the fact that on Wednesday we'll probably have a front move through here. It'll sink south, return north as a warm front, and eventually bring us a chance of rain as a secondary system approaches Saturday into Sunday. But all in all, it is going to be one spectacular week ahead for April. Back to you.
Oh, John Scalzi, I like all those words. And you might be liking the traffic out there this morning at 617. Not too much going on. It's still pretty slow going. You're starting to see a couple spots right there on 301 that are slowing down, as well as State Road 70. Both of those, of course, in Manatee County. In Sarasota County, they're starting to pick up a little bit around University Parkway, as well as Bee Ridge Road, right near the 75 interchange. A little bit farther south in the area, those roads are still running pretty clear around this morning. If you're heading toward the Port Charlotte area this morning, around this time in the morning, your commute will be pretty easy going. 618, that is your first alert traffic. Well, thunderstorms, tornadoes, some snow, some ice storms, and some crazy weather over the weekend all across the country. John Lawrence has a closer look.
A monster blizzard pounded parts of Wisconsin this weekend.
We haven't seen snow amounts in this in years.
Major snow fell in Green Bay and Appleton, according to the National Weather Service.
Just driving around, making sure everybody's safe. We're pulling people out, helping with a shovel, throwing our hazards on, again, just being out there and taking care of our community.
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, more than a foot of snow fell in the Twin Cities. And local forecasters say this will be among the area's strongest snowstorms in history. Parts of South Dakota also received more than 12 inches of snow, but some residents are taking it in stride.
It's spring. Pretty soon it'll melt, and then we'll get some more. It'll be fine.
In Jefferson, Iowa, crews repairing damage from 80-mile-per-hour winds.
I was really shook up because I just had never experienced anything like that before.
The gusts tore roofs off buildings and knocked over a garage and an RV.
It was crazy and somewhat scary. I was like, holy buckets.
At least one confirmed fatality in a tornado that struck Greensboro, North Carolina Sunday. In parts of Ohio and Michigan, strong winds and rain resulted in heavy flooding. Some residents were forced to evacuate after their homes were surrounded by water. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And we had some wild weather of our own right here on the Suncoast over the weekend. Tornado warnings in effect yesterday in Manatee County and the Tampa Bay area. The airport was knocked off schedule with canceled and delayed flights. And take a look at this photo. Our First Alert weather team tracked a water spout that was skirting across the north end of Anna Maria Island yesterday, entered the bay around the Sunshine Skyway Bridge area. This photo captures the water spout. It was sent in by one of our viewers, Leland Taylor. If you ever have a picture like this, we would love to see them. Feel free to send it to us on Facebook or Instagram or tweet it at us. Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, protesters are expected to gather at a Philadelphia Starbucks later today. More on the call to boycott the coffee giant, plus a protest of our own right here on the Suncoast later on this morning. Right, Marla?
That's right. A student who says she was body shamed at Braden River High School is calling for girls to leave their bras at home and boys to put on Band-Aids. I have a live report with this protest that students are calling a boycott.
And you're looking live at a beautiful morning that is starting to shape up there. Taking a look out of the tower cam this morning. It's going to be a chilly start to your morning out there. You might want to grab a little sweater with a high of about 68 today. Just a cooler look. We'll be back with more Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the spring sales event. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Don't miss Southwest Florida's largest barbecue and bluegrass event at the Venice Airport Festival grounds. Taste genuine competition barbecue and listen to award-winning bluegrass entertainment. Join us for a finger-licking and hot-picking good time. Free admission and parking. Go to suncoastbbqbash.com for details.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country, right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Welcome back to Good Morning Suncoast. Here is a live look outside the corner of US 41 and Bee Ridge Road. Definitely one of the morning commutes traffic hot spots. Already starting to pick up right there at 6:23 this morning. Starting to see some congestion there already. Well, speaking of congestion, you're probably going to see it online and, of course, at the post office tomorrow. The clock is now ticking. The tax filing deadline is just 1 day away. But have no fear. We have a few more tax tips to share for our last-minute procrastinators. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has everything you need to know about child tax credits.
Everyone knows raising children can be expensive, but at tax time, there are some deductions and credits for parents that may help lower their tax bill. The child tax credit is available for each qualifying child under the age of 17. For your 2017 return, the child tax credit remains unchanged at $1,000, but increases for 2018.
It's actually doubling to $2,000 per child
Additionally, Kathy Pickering, executive director of the Tax Institute at H&R Block, says more families will be able to claim the credit beginning in 2018.
People making up to $200,000 are able to take advantage of this credit.
There's also the Child Independent Care Credit if you pay someone to care for your children under 13, so you can work or look for work. Parents paying for college can also receive some tax breaks.
The American Opportunity Credit, and that's up to $2,500 for qualified expenses, and it's per student for the first 4 years.
And for parents whose kids aren't attending college,
the Lifetime Learning Credit. It is available to be used for things other than credentialed programs.
For 2017 only, a deduction of up to $4,000 is available for higher education tuition. And of course, once your child finishes school, there are student loans to pay.
The student loan interest deduction is now still available.
Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
This morning, protesters are expected to gather again at a Philadelphia Starbucks. ABC's Lindsay Davis has the story behind the new Boycott Starbucks movement.
In this morning's GMA First Look, outrage is brewing at this Philadelphia Starbucks over this viral video showing 2 black men escorted out by police in handcuffs.
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
Police say the men were sitting at a table without making a purchase, and when asked to leave, they refused. That's when an employee called 911, reporting the incident as trespassing. Witnesses, including this businessman who the real estate brokers were about to meet with, say the men were discriminated against for being black.
What did they get called for? Because there are 2 black guys sitting here meeting me?
But Philadelphia's police commissioner says his officers did everything by the book.
These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. They followed policy. They did what they were supposed to do.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have an exclusive interview with Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson. With your GMA First Look, I'm Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
This is the Diet Pepsi that was right for Ray and looks good in a can, in a bottle, or an extreme close-up. This is the Diet Pepsi your mom drank when she was young and drinks now that she's...
Don't you dare.
This is the Diet Pepsi that is always the right one.
Discover the new Nivea Oil-Infused Lotion. Nourishing oils meet fast-absorbing lotions. Refined with indulging scents. For beautifully nourished skin. New Nivea Oil-Infused Lotion.
Wake up to great tasting flavor. Belvita breakfast biscuits. Flavors like delicious blueberry or decadent chocolate, gently baked in a tasty biscuit. Belvita breakfast biscuits. It's time to taste the day.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Hey kids, come learn baseball from the pros. The Bradenton Marauders are hosting Baseball Camp on June 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lecom Park. Boys and girls ages 6 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of hitting, pitching, and fielding from Marauders coaches and players at Lecom Park. Your camp fee includes a t-shirt, lunch daily, and 1 ticket to the Marauders games on these nights. To sign up, go to BradentonMarauders.com by May 14th. Sponsored by ABC7, your Suncoast News. WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
She was always smiling, ask me for, everything, cheers nicely.
Former First Lady Barbara Bush home this morning after her family says her health is failing. And he was a former Marine turned movie star who uttered some of the best insults ever on the big screen. Arlie Ermey has passed away. We're going to have a look back at his life. Plus, Marla?
And this morning, students at Braden River High School will be leaving their bras at home and putting on Band-Aids in support of a protest they're calling a bra-cot. I have a live report with more on this story straight ahead. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Good morning. It is 6:30 on this Monday morning. Thanks for waking up with us right here on Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Stephanie Webb. Ray Collins has the week off. I think he's watching a lot of tennis with the Sarasota Open in town. Some guy that is going to be watching a lot of the weather today. A little calmer than yesterday, right, John Scalzi?
Big time, yeah. Excuse me, absolutely. We have a kind of a breezy day today. That actually might affect the tennis tournament, I suppose it could. We have some gusts that have been as high as 25, 30 mile an hour during the last 12 hours or so, and we'll probably have some breezy winds throughout the day today. Rip current advisories are up, high surf advisories, as well as a small craft advisory. Rain showers continue to press southward across the area, leaving behind just a few fair weather clouds being picked up by the winds off of the Gulf waters. That will tend to mix away today as the winds become increasingly more northerly, I think. 62, Mayaca City, 63, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota coming in at 65. Temperatures running about 10 degrees cooler than they were 24 hours ago. Day planner shows some some cool temperatures, I should say, out there today. It's warm in the studio, that's what I'm thinking. 68 degrees, the daytime high temperature. That's it later on this afternoon with lots of sunshine around. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside for your first alert traffic out there this morning. In Manatee County, not too much to talk about at this hour. Just starting to see some slowdowns right there on 301 and State Road 70. 301 is starting to get busy, as it usually does right around this time of the morning. In Sarasota County, those roads are looking pretty deep. Oh, we do have one accident that we have to let you know about. Southbound, there's a lane blocked right after exit 224. There's a lane blocked again, exit 224, if you're heading southbound on 75 this morning. Now, some of the other roads that are starting to see some slowdowns, University Parkway starting to see some congestion there, as around Fruitville Road as well. If you come off of 75, the roads are starting to get a little more congested in that area as well as the morning commute picks up. Farther south, if you're headed toward the Northport or the Port Charlotte areas, those roads are looking pretty decent this morning. It is 6:33, and that is your first alert traffic. And quickly, here's a live look outside. US 41 Bee Ridge Road this morning, one of those areas that we always see with a little traffic as it starts to build up on that morning commute. Well, protests expected this morning at Braden River High School. It was a local story that made headlines all across the country. And it began with a student who didn't wear a bra to school and was forced to fix that situation with Band-Aids. ABC 7's Marla Spence is live this morning from the school. Tell us about the bra-cot that is expected today, Marla.
Well, Stephanie, this morning, students will be walking the halls of Braden River High School a little differently than they did Friday. They'll be protesting against the school's dress code policy. Now, this comes after a student says she was body shamed right here at the school, and she says that she's calling for students to leave their bras at home and to put on Band-Aids in support of today's boycott. Now, that protest was spearheaded by 17-year-old Lizzie Martinez at the beginning of the month. She said that she was told that she was being a distraction for not wearing a bra. She was sent to the office, told to shake her body to prove she wasn't wearing a bra, then was forced to put on 2 Band-Aids. She was, it says, out of humiliation and wanting to stand up against body shaming. She is asking girl students to leave their bras at home and boy students to put on Band-Aids. We spoke to students here at Braden River High School, and surprisingly, the guy students here are on board with the protests and supports the cause.
I am fully for it, 100%. I think, you know, it's a good way to symbolize, you know, sexualizing bodies or whatever went down in the office that day. I don't know, but I'm for it.
If someone gets me Band-Aids, I will put them on my nipples.
Now, in addition to students not putting on bras or wearing bras and putting on Band-Aids in support of today's boycott, they'll also be wearing T-shirts with messages on them speaking up against body shaming and also supporting today's boycott. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Manatee County for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. This morning, new details from the investigation into an iconic surf shop in Holmes Beach that caught fire early yesterday afternoon. West Manatee Fire Rescue says the fire at the West Coast Surf Shop was caused by an electrical issue that had to do with the neon light at the store. When it all broke out, there were 3 employees and around 30 customers at the property when it broke out.
It was reported there were a few people in there initially. All members were able to get out with no injuries. We had about 15 members altogether arrive on scene. They were able to quickly knock the fire down, get it under control. They did a great job.
And they estimate that the fire may have caused over $250,000 in damage. Right now, officials need your help locating a missing teen. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is seeking information on a 12-year-old girl, Hannah Lee Pendreza Concepcion. She was last seen around 11 o'clock Saturday night. Here she is. She's not considered in danger at this time. She was last seen in the 2200 block of Silver Maple Court in Sarasota. Happening today, President Trump's personal attorney is set to appear in court. Michael Cohen has been under criminal investigation for some of his business dealings. Cohen has admitted to paying Stormy Daniels $130,000 to keep quiet about an alleged affair with President Trump years before he was president. Federal officials searched Cohen's home, phones, hotel room, and an office in a raid last week. Now, in this hearing this morning, he is going to be requesting for a judge to forbid federal officials from looking at the information taken without his review. Stormy Daniels' attorney says she will also be attending the court hearing this morning. Well, Barbara Bush has led a truly remarkable life. Married to a president, mother of another president. Her family revealed yesterday that the 92-year-old matriarch will no longer seek medical treatment for her, quote, failing health, but rather focus on comfort care with her family by her side. ABC's Deborah Wrigley has a look back at her earlier years.
These are the images of Barbara Bush before, during, and after her years in the White House as First Lady. But on the wall of Molina's Cantina on Westheimer, there's this from the early years, when the restaurant was in a house and the Bushes were customers. Leo Mendoza, a young server.
She was always smiling, asked me for, you know, everything. She was nicely.
That's impressed so many people who met Barbara Bush, not the high and mighty, but regular folks. This picture taken a year and a half ago, the last time the Bushes came to Molina's to dine on their favorite cheese enchiladas. Manager Maria Sanchez took the image.
I took a picture of Mrs. Bush and Mr. Bush surrounded by children, and that is one of the memories that I have here. And it's in our main dining room.
The former first couple glad to do it. Mrs. Bush loves children, reading Christmas stories to an audience of kids during the holiday season with J.J. Watt. Reading a cause for her, she founded the Barbara Bush Foundation for Family Literacy. Just one of the ways she gave back, influencing others like Jim McInville, who knows her as a friend.
She was the type of person who would light up the room with her personality, treated everybody the same, whether it was the person serving the table or the most important person in the room, it didn't matter. She is a force for good in our community, and for so many years has been just a shining example for all of us to try to emulate.
A gracious, giving person who's made an impression on so many outside of the halls of power, to a restaurant where she and her husband posed for pictures, shook hands, and made people feel very special.
And sitting in our dining room with everybody else. You know, it was just very humbling, just an amazing lady.
Deborah Wrigley, 13 Eyewitness News.
Well, some sad news out of Hollywood to report today. Arlie Ermey, a man known for some of the best insults ever uttered on a movie screen, has passed away at the age of 74. He was a former Marine. Ermey was hands down best known for his role as Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, right here in Full Metal Jacket. This was the role that made him. It also earned him a Golden Globe nomination. He also had roles in Apocalypse Now, and he also was the voice of the Little Green Army Man in Disney's Toy Story. Most recent, he was the co-host of Military Makeover, which was filming last week in Bradenton. Ermey's longtime manager says he died this morning from pneumonia-related complications. And if you ever wondered, the R in Arlie Ermey stands for Ronald. And a little fun fact, he was actually never supposed to be in Full Metal Jacket. He was actually hired as a technical advisor for another actor, but he was so impressive with his skills and his insult ability, he was hired instead. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in your first alert weather and traffic. And there is a new member right here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that we are pretty happy about today. They're no longer living on a prayer. We're going to tell you more about Bon Jovi and their big weekend when we come back. But first, John Scalzi also had a big weekend yesterday in the weather.
Yes, indeed. It was a busy weekend yesterday. I'll tell you, it was some rough weather around. Well, that weather system has now passed by, and its residual effect is windy conditions today. And we have the wind box checked on our drive time forecast. 2 hands on the wheel over the Skyway Bridge, looking at temperatures that'll be in the low 60s as you head out the door, breezy. And it'll be breezy on the way back, too. But sunny. Daytime highs top out only in the upper 60s. Talk about this cool forecast coming up in a few.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured or arrested, I know this feels like the end of the road, but really it's the beginning of a long, potentially stressful process. So give us a call, let us give you some peace of mind.
Car buying can be time-consuming. Not at Toyota of Sarasota. With hundreds of models to choose from, you're sure to find the right car at the right price in the right amount of time. Start online at toyotaofsarasota.com and then come visit us.
Toyota of Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
I have a 65-degree air temperature and the dew point getting lower and lower as the morning progresses at 52 right now. That's a very comfortable dew point, makes it feel cool and crisp outside. And we have winds that are also kind of breezy coming in northwest at about 15 right now. We've had gusts even higher than that throughout the morning hours. 63 Lakewood Ranch Parish at 62, so is Bradenton, 65 in Sarasota, Venice at 66 and 67 degrees in Inglewood. I've been showing this all morning, and I just love this particular image, the water vapor imagery, showing where the dry air is and where the moisture is. There's yesterday's moisture now pushed out into the Atlantic, and this kind of tan color that you see here is dry air at mid and upper levels, and it is deep over Florida and all the way back stream up into areas of the plateaus of Mexico. So we are in for days in a row of plenty of sunshine. It's going to be nice. So the forecast for today calls for a temperature of about 68 degrees by 3 p.m. That's it. That's as warm as we get today. And then as we head into the evening, our temperatures taper off. Not as fast as they could if the winds were not elevated like they are. If the winds were dead calm, well, with the dew points we have, we'd see those temperatures plummet even further. But winds will help keep our temperatures up a little bit. But still, it'll be in the 50s during the overnight tonight. So a chilly night in store for us, relatively speaking. Low pressure area with a frontal boundary attached to it. That's what brought us yesterday's rain. The low producing inclement weather in the northeast and down east Maine. Even a little hit of snow. That moves out of the way. High pressure builds in and moves toward the east and over us. As it gets closer and closer to us, the winds become lighter and lighter. That won't happen until tomorrow necessarily, or at least tonight. But at least throughout the day today, the winds will be breezy enough that we do have all of those advisories up. Sunny, no rain, at least for this work week, and then low humidity right straight through the week. Watch the forecast winds. They stay up, but by tomorrow, they do start to twist a little bit more to the northeast, and they do start to subside. When that happens, we'll start to see the conditions on our area waters begin to improve. Small craft advisory will probably go down, so will the rip current advisory. Watch this one little area of disturbed weather continue to advance toward us so that by the time we get to the weekend, we'll probably see rain chances begin to increase. A front that moves through as a cold front will lift back north as a warm front, and then this little area of disturbed weather will move across the state and enhance our rainfall chances on Sunday. About 30% chance, and it'll be out of here for the beginning of next work week. This is the situation on our waters. Northwest wind at about 20. That'll bring us 5 to 7 foot seas and choppy conditions on bay and inland waters. So we do have a small craft advisory up through the day and into the evening tonight. So boaters, pay attention to that. 103 high tide, low tide 840. And the forecast calls for 68 today. Tomorrow a little warmer. Still low humidity though. Should be beautiful. Plenty of sunshine wall to wall. We warm up into the 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And again, low humidity, but increasing as we get into Friday. And then as we get into Saturday, we have that chance of rainfall with that next system that approaches and warmer temperatures. Same thing holds true on Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside again to your first alert traffic. A lot more red on that map just in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Starting to see a lot of slowdowns right there on 41 as you pass by State Road 64. Starting to see some congestion in that area. 301 and State Road 70. Lots of red on those maps. Starting to see some slowdowns in that area. In Sarasota County, those roads are also having a little bit of an issue. University Parkway, Fruitville, and Bee Ridge starting to see some slowdowns here like we normally do right around this time in the morning. A little bit farther south in the area if you're heading towards Venice or Northport or Port Charlotte. All those roads are actually looking pretty congestion free around this time in the morning. Not too much to see there. It is 6:49 and that is your first alert traffic. And 2 words for you. Go Bolts. The Tampa Bay Lightning are on the road today to New Jersey. They're taking a 2-0 series lead with them. They're taking on the Devils tonight for Game 3 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The puck drops at 7:30. The Bolts clearly proving that they are in it for the long haul. As for the Devils, they're hoping for some home ice advantage, and I'm looking forward to some free coffee this morning after I won a bet with producer Catherine since our Bolts beat her Devils. Well, they aren't living on a prayer anymore. Bon Jovi has finally made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The band reunited and celebrated their induction over the weekend in Cleveland. The 33rd annual ceremony also welcomed the Cars, Dire Straits, the Moody Blues, Nina Simone, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe. And still ahead, we are going to update your top headlines in your top 7 before 7. We've got to look at your first alert weather and traffic as you get ready for the day, and some very weird purchases that may have made a celebrity go bankrupt. We're going to have all those stories. We'll be right back with your headlines. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
And it's that time. ABC 7 wants to make sure that you are ready for the day. So here are the top 7 things you need to know before 7. First, of course, John with your first alert weather.
So here are your weather highlights. Carry you through the day. It'll be cool tonight with temperatures in the 50s. Watch for that. Low humidity right straight through the week. No rain falling. It'll be dry, but we will have a chance of seeing some rainfall as we head into the weekend and another system approaches. Those are your weather highlights that carry you through the day. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Number 2, first alert traffic. Starting to see a lot of slowdowns out there. Certainly the bridges coming into Bradenton, as well as 301 and State Road 70. Those are the big hot spots this morning. Number 3, today students at Braden River High School are going to be protesting against the school's dress code with a bra cut after a student was told she was a distraction by not wearing a bra. Today, girls will be leaving theirs at home and boys will be putting Band-Aids over their shirts. Number 4, R. Lee Ermey, the former Marine turned actor known for some of the best insults ever uttered on a movie screen, has passed away at the age of 74. Number 5, former First Lady Barbara Bush is at home after reports that her health is failing. She's been dealing with pulmonary disease and congestive heart failure. Number 6, it is Game 3 tonight for the Lightning and the Devils. The Bolts are up 2-0, and the Devils are hoping for some home ice advantage. The puck drops tonight at 7:30. And finally, number 7, what's trending? You know, it's not uncommon for celebrities to blow through their cash on mansions, a big entourage. But according to CNBC's show A Filthy Rich Guide, actor Nicolas Cage spent $150 million in some pretty weird ways. Okay, he's got a couple homes, but he also has owned 2 castles, a deserted island in the Bahamas. But here's where it gets a little weird. He also blew his fortune on a collection of shrunken pygmy heads. That's weird. A 9-foot-tall burial tomb in New Orleans, a $150,000 pet octopus that he said helped his acting, a $276,000 70-million-year-old dinosaur skull. What's the weirdest thing you've ever bought, John Scalzi?
Well, I bought a 220-volt 15-gallon deep fryer.
Okay, that's not weird. That's pretty normal.
Thank you very much.
Compared to Nicolas Cage, you are so normal.
Would you come over and talk to my wife for a moment?
Okay, we're going to tell her. John Scalzi, so normal. All right, we're going to have a pretty normal day out there. Stick around. Good Morning America is up next.